Okay. Nope, something's on in here. I'm on. Test. Oh, I'm okay now.
Test.
Nope.
I'm okay now. No.
Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Test 1, 2. Test.
Test
Okay.
1, 2.
Nope.
Test. Okay. No.
Apologize for the delay here. We have some little
Apologize for the delay here. We have some little
technical difficulties.
technical difficulties.
Please try it now, Mayor.
Test 1, 2. All right, I think we got it. Thank you. Okay, good evening, everybody. We're ready to get started. Our joint meeting of the City Council, successor agency to the redevelopment agency, Public Finance Authority, and all the other entities as listed on our agenda. Our call time this Tuesday, September 29th, 2020, at 6:34 p.m. Madam Clerk, can we have a roll call, please?
Sure. Mayor Pro Tem Rogers,
Here.
Councilmember Magana,
Present.
Councilmember Corona,
Present.
Councilmember Rab,
Here.
Mayor Vargas,
Here. Okay, thank you. And just for clarification to our public who's viewing, we are practicing our social distancing and virtual meetings where none of the council is together. We are all in separate locations. So we will move on now to item number 3 is our invocation, and I'd ask our Mayor Pro Tem if she can lead us. And then followed by our invocation, we will do our Pledge of Allegiance, which will be led by our Mayor Pro Tem as well.
Heavenly Father, we come to you this evening. We ask you to bless our meeting, to give us, the leaders of the city, the wisdom as we make wise decisions. We ask that you bless our leaders in Washington, D.C., and instill in them a sense of unity, dear Lord. There's confusion everywhere we look. We ask that you bless the state of California and the Inland Empire region. We ask that you stop the wildfires that are devastating the great state of California. We ask that you put your hand of protection around our first responders, our law enforcement officers, our firefighters, dear Lord, and keep them safe and bring them home to their families each and every night. We ask all of these things in the mighty name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
Please join me as we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Hand over your heart. Again. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Alrighty, thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Item 5 is our report on closed session. Mr. Dunn?
Thank you, Mayor. The council met in closed session to discuss the items listed on the agenda, and no reportable action was taken tonight.
Thank you. Item 6 is our presentation and announcements. We have none. Item 7 is our approval of minutes. 7A is consideration to approve the minutes of the regular joint meeting held on August 25th, 2020, and the special joint meeting held on September 9th, 2020, the City Council's successor agency to the redevelopment agencies and all those listed on our agenda. If there are no comments or questions, I entertain a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Motion second.
Thank you. I have a first and a second. Can I call a roll call vote, please?
Mayor Pro Tem Rogers,
Yes.
Councilmember Magana,
Yes.
Councilmember Corona,
Yes.
Councilmember Rabb,
Yes.
Mayor Vargas.
Yes.
5-0, motion approved.
Thank you. Item 8 is our consent calendar. Consent calendar items are normally enacted in one motion. The mayor or city council may remove a consent calendar for a separate vote. We will have or allow for public comment, which will be limited to 3 minutes. Does any council person or member have anything to pull from the consent calendar?
Yes, Mayor. If I may pull item 8 as in 8K as in Kevin and item D as well.
Item U is in Union.
D as in Delta.
Okay, you got that one for me taken care of.
Mayor, if I could pull item 8A, just for questions.
8A. Okay, anybody else? Okay, so we're looking for a motion for the consent calendar excluding A, D as in David, K as in King.
Motion
Make-
to approve the consent calendar.
Second.
Very good. I have a motion by Mayor Pro Tem and second by Councilman Rabb. You call a roll call vote, please?
Mayor Pro Tem Rogers,
Yes.
Councilmember Magana,
Yes.
Councilmember Corona,
Yes.
Councilmember Rabb,
Yes.
Mayor Vargas.
Yes.
5-0, motion approved.
Very good. All right, so for the good of the order, let's just go down the order. So, item 8A, Councilman Corona, you have to have that pulled.
Thank you, Mayor. So it looks like every meeting or so, the last few meetings, we've been having stuff to deal with the Getz Road widening. So my question is, I guess for Mr. McKibben, is this one of the last things that we're going to be seeing before we start construction?
No, there will be one more item at the next meeting. We have to execute a consulting services agreement with the geotechnical firm that's needed to test underneath the road. And that'll be the last one.
Okay, so do we have an estimation, if that passes, do we have an estimation of when construction will start for the residents to know?
The firm Alabaster, they've already submitted all their bonds and signed the contract for the project. And then we're supposed to be setting up a pre-construction meeting in the next week or so. So we haven't got a schedule from Alabaster yet as to when they're going to start construction.
Okay, and I'm sure we're going to publicize that to the public, right?
Absolutely. In fact, there's a road closure, as you remember, that we're going to close Getz Road for 5 days, and that has to be circulated out to the public.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, if there's nothing else on 8A, I entertain a motion to approve.
A motion to approve?
I second.
Okay, we have a motion by Councilman Corona, second by Councilwoman Magana. Call the vote.
Mayor Pro Tem Rogers,
Yes.
Councilmember Magana,
Yes.
Councilmember Corona,
Yes.
Councilmember Rabb,
Yes.
Mayor Vargas.
Yes.
5-0, motion approved.
Thank you. Okay, item D, I was originally going to pull to have the city engineer modify or clarify something. The Councilwoman Magana, did you have something else on this item?
Yes, I just had a question and just for discussion. So I read about solar powered lights in the report, and I just wanted to confirm that we have enough lighting for both the ADA ramp and the stairs, as there tends to be graffiti there on that Caltrans property, and I just wanted to ensure that there's plenty of light, especially now, to ensure safety for the increased pedestrian traffic that will take place from this project?
We will take care of that, absolutely.
Okay, Mr. Engineer, you had something to add to this item?
Yes, I did. We had to submit our staff reports on September 19th or 18th. And subsequent to that, County Council gave us the final agreement for the cost share on this item. And so what we want to do is swap out the agreement that you have before you and replace the one that County Council has approved. The changes are not substantive at all, but we just wanted to use the one that they would like.
So we're basically just showing verbiage that the award of the money has been approved from the city side.
Yeah.
Or county side. Okay. If everybody has no more questions on that one, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
I motion.
I'll second that.
Okay, I have a motion by Councilwoman Magana, second by Councilman Corona. Call a roll call vote, please.
Mayor Pro Tem Rogers,
Yes.
Councilmember Magana,
Yes.
Councilmember Corona,
Yes.
Councilmember Rab,
Yes.
Mayor Vargas,
Yes.
5-0, motion approved.
Thank you. Okay, item 8K, Councilwoman Magana.
Thank you, Mayor. So in the report, it mentions that staff is working with the federal EDA. And I just had a question about that. I was wondering if staff is also working with the state and congressional offices to ensure they have buy-in from these offices as well.
Yes, Councilwoman Magana, Clara Miramontes, Assistant City Manager. Yes, we have, right now our project manager is also working and reaching out to our state representatives to obtain support to further work with the EDA to possibly obtain additional funding. We have not we have not done that yet, but we're working towards that to make up the shortfall.
Okay, and are we also reaching out to our congressional office?
Yes.
Okay. So just another thought, I know this project has been postponed on various levels, and I'm just worried that this is another opportunity where the project will be delayed. And since we are dealing with grant funding, I want to make sure we stay, we meet the deadlines as close as possible. So I was considering creating an ad hoc committee just specifically for this Downtown Paris Skills Center project. And that would include the entities that I just mentioned, like our congressional office, as well as various other stakeholders that could help us, complete this project and make sure that it's carried out in full. So with that being said, I am happy to serve as part of that ad hoc committee if that's something that we're willing to entertain.
Okay, I'll talk to you further about that, and we'll grasp everything you need on there, and then we'll bring it back to our next meeting.
Thank you, Mayor.
Anything else on this item?
That's it on my end.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
I motion.
I second.
I have a motion by Councilwoman Magana, second by Mayor Pro Tem. Call the vote, please.
Mayor Pro Tem Rogers,
Yes.
Councilmember Magana,
Yes.
Councilmember Corona,
Yes.
Councilmember Rab,
Yes.
Mayor Vargas,
Yes.
To go
5-0, motion approved.
Where'd you send it?
to my Gmail account.
Rick, can you mute yourself, please? Okay, that concludes our consent calendar. We'll move on to item 9, our public hearings. 9A is consideration to adopt resolution next in order to approve the general plan amendment GPA 16-05217 and tentative track map 3647. And this is going to be introduced by our planning manager, Kenneth Fung.
Good evening, Mayor, member of the council. This item will be presented by our senior planner, Nathan Perez. And so he will be making a presentation.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, members of the City Council, tonight we have before you the Stratford Ranch Residential South Project, which was recommended for approval by the Planning Commission unanimously on September 2nd. The applicant is Mr. Jason Keller from Mission Pacific Land Company, who is in attendance in Zoom tonight. So the project is located at the northwest corner of Evans Road and Ramona Expressway. And the project site is currently vacant, surrounded by vacant land to the south. And to the west is the Paris Valley Storm Channel, and to the east is an existing single-family neighborhood. To the north is a vacant lot that's currently entitled under Tract Map 36648 for 270 single-family lots. And also that project was actually approved by the City Council in late 2017. The project proposes a general plan amendment to redesignate the project site as specific plan to R6000 single family. And also there's a zone change to rezone the parcel from R10,000 to R6000. Here's an overview of the area. The project site is currently shown as the red box. Currently, the tract map has a similar density and also similar lot sizes as the entitled tract map to the north, and also the existing single family to the east across Evans Road. So the project entails subdividing 24 acres into 90 single family lots. There's 2 points of access along Evans Road and also 2 points of access along the northerly entitled tract map, which is tract map 36648. There's also a feature trail that runs parallel along the Paris Valley Storm Channel, which is a Class 1 bike lane, and it will ultimately connect to the City of Moreno Valley's Class 1 bike lane. So in conclusion, see if I can read this. Planning staff recommends that the City Council adopt a resolution next in order to approve the General Plan Amendment 16-05217 and tentative tract map 36647, and also introduce the first reading of ordinance number next in order to approve the zone change based on the information that's provided in the staff report. This concludes my presentation.
Thank you, Daniel. Before I open up the public hearing, does any council member have any questions or comments for clarification?
Yes, is it a developer here or somebody that could speak on the project?
Yes, they're on the Zoom call. So if you have any questions for them, they're available.
Okay, or whoever. Just for clarification, the exterior walls, they're all going to be block walls?
Councilman Corona, that is correct. Currently, we have conditioned the project to provide pilasters every 75 feet, and also to have some type of decorative wall such as a split face or a slump stone.
Okay. Okay, so it will include pilasters. Okay, that was gonna be my next question. Because, you know, on Evans is a very busy road, so I would just hate to see what happens in a new development happen, you know, same thing that happens in some of the older ones. My next question is, what is the purpose of rezoning from 10,000, residential 10,000 to 6,000? I mean, it's pretty rare that we have, you know, large lots in the city of Paris. Was it just for economic sense?
The applicant can answer that, but just for some brief history, all the lots in that area was zone R10,000. And as development has taken place, they're all been rezoned to R6000, which is what is happening to the north and also to the east. And so the applicant can provide greater clarity for the purpose, but it's practically for financial reasons and just the needs of the market, people wanting smaller lots and not 10,000 square feet.
Okay.
You want me to take that on now, Kenneth? Can you hear me?
Yeah, maybe we can wait until the end unless the council wants to ask you the question at this point.
Okay, that's fine.
Was that the end of your questions, Councilman Corona?
Yeah, I think Kenneth answered it pretty good, but I was actually gonna maybe hear from the developer, from Jason, if he could respond to the actual reason. Is it just the market right now just kind of drives it?
Yeah, that's the primary reason. it's primarily market driven. That's what most of the merchant builders are looking to see in the end users, the home buyers. It's consistent with the surrounding uses. As Kenneth mentioned, the project to the east that's already been constructed, those are all 6,000 square foot lots. And it's compatible with the uses to the north and with a good separation with the channel to the west and the industrial. It's a compatible use and lot size for that area.
Okay, yeah, I'm not disagreeing with that. I just want to know what the reason was. And then also, do you have any plans to develop, like, do you have a set date estimation, more or less?
Not an exact date. We still have to go through the final map process and all the engineering for the track. So it's at least a couple of years out.
Okay.
But yeah, it's definitely something on the horizon, and we're looking to move forward. We're excited to move forward because we've got a lot of interest in the project just to the north, the 270 lots. There's a lot of interest from the buyers now, from the builders. So we're looking to advance the map that we have here before you right away. So we're hoping it's sooner than later, but it's probably a couple of years out from starting construction.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you so much.
Sure.
Councilman Corona, did you have a question? Councilman Rab, I'm sorry.
Yes, I had to first start off with a comment. Just like to thank staff for making the conditions the way they are, particularly the graffiti coding in item 37. And I'd like to also thank the planning department for adding a caveat that graffiti must be removed within 48 hours. I had one question regarding the storm drain trail. Will there be access from that track, pedestrian access from that track to the storm drain, or will it be from the track we approved? I think it was late 2017. Will allow the residents to have access to the storm drain trail?
So currently the trail will actually start from Evans Road and go westbound and pretty much go parallel along the Paris Valley Storm Channel. There will be points of access along the, I think, track map 36647. There'll be a point of access there, and ultimately will connect to Moreno Valley's Class 1 bike trail.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
I have a comment.
Mayor Pro Tem.
Yes, I'd just like to add too, by increasing the density, it's helping the city with the arena numbers that we've been tasked to come up with additional housing in the next year. So it is a benefit in that respect as well.
Yes, it is. Anybody else? Okay, we're going to open up public hearing. Madam Clerk, do we have any requests to speak on this item?
No, sir.
IT, is there anybody on phone lines that are waving their hands?
No, sir.
Okay, we're going to close public comment or public hearing, and I will call for a motion on the resolution of the first reading of the ordinance.
Motion to approve.
A motion by Mayor Pro Tem Rogers
I'll second that.
and a second by Councilman Corona. Call the roll call vote, please.
Mayor Pro Tem Rogers,
Yes.
Councilmember Magana,
Yes.
Councilmember Corona,
Yes.
Councilmember Rab,
Yes.
Mayor Vargas,
Yes,
5-0, motion approved.
thank you. Okay, 9B is a consideration to adopt resolution numbers next in order regarding annexation of parcels into Community Facilities District, also known as a CFD 2001-3, the North Paris Public Safety District. And this will be introduced by our Director of Finance, Ernie Reyna.
Yes, good evening, Mr. Mayor and members of the City Council. For this particular item, we're going to have Daniel Louie of Wildan introduce and make the presentation on this item. So I'm going to go and hand it over to Mr. Louie. So Daniel, go ahead and take it away.
Thank you, Ernie. Good evening, Honorable Mayor and City Council members. These two resolutions on the agenda are for the annexation of property for Project DPR 18-00006 into the Public Safety CFD 2001-3. On the meeting on July 28, 2020, the City Council adopted Resolution 5690, declaring the intention to annex certain territory to the district and setting the date of the public hearing for tonight. Therefore, we request that the city open a public hearing on this annexation. If there are no protests, adopt the resolution calling for the special election. The property owner has waived the waiting period, so we may conduct the special election tonight. And finally, once the election is conducted, adopt a resolution declaring the results of the election and ordering the notice of special tax claim. If there are any questions, I'll be glad to answer them.
Thank you, Daniel. Council, anybody have any questions, clarifications, comments? Seeing none, I'll open up the public hearing. Madam Clerk, do we have a request to speak?
No, sir.
IT, anybody on phone lines wanting to speak on this?
No, sir.
Very good. We'll close the public hearing, and I'll call for a motion on the first resolution calling the election.
To make a motion? Oh, sorry, Councilman. I would second the motion.
Okay, I have a motion by Mayor Pro Tem Rogers, second by Councilman Rab. Roll call vote, please.
Mayor Pro Tem Rogers,
Yes.
Councilmember Magana,
Yes.
Councilmember Corona,
Yes.
Councilmember Rab,
Yes.
Mayor Vargas,
Yes,
5-0, motion approved.
thank you. Madam Clerk, can you open the ballot, please?
Community Facilities District Number 2001-3, North Paris Public Safety of the City of Paris, Annexation Number 39, Special Tax and Appropriations Limit Elections. The ballot is marked yes.
Thank you. Okay, I'm now going to call for a motion on the second resolution declaring the results of the election.
I motion.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilwoman Magana, second by Mayor Pro Tem Rogers. Please call a roll call vote.
Mayor Pro Tem Rogers,
Yes.
Councilmember Magana,
Yes.
Councilmember Corona,
Yes.
Councilmember Rab,
Yes.
Mayor Vargas,
Yes,
5-0, motion approved.
thank you. Item 9C is consideration to adopt resolution numbers next in order regarding the annexation of DPR 18-00006 to the city maintenance districts. And this will be introduced by our city engineer, Stuart McKibben.
Honorable Mayor, council members, this item concerning Canyon Steel will be presented to you by Daniel Louis of Wildan Financial.
Thank you, Stuart. This item is also for DPR 18-00006. As a condition of approval, the project is required to annex into the city's 3 maintenance districts to pay for the benefits and annual costs associated with this property once it's developed. The proposed maximum annual assessment for the project is $6,534.39. On July 28th, the City Council approved resolutions initiating the annexations, and tonight is the public hearing. At this time, staff is asking the mayor to open and close the public hearings. Following the hearings, the city clerk is to open the ballots. There's 1 ballot per district and 1 property owner. If there's no majority protest, then the City Council can consider the approval of the resolutions and confirm the annexations. Thank you.
Thank you, Daniel. Any council member have any questions or comments for clarification? Seeing none, we'll open up the public hearing. Madam Clerk, do we have any requests to speak?
No, sir.
IT, anybody from the phone lines?
No, sir.
Thank you. Okay, we will close the public hearing, and I'll ask the city clerk to open up 3 ballots.
Annexation of DPR 18-00006 to Benefit Zone 152, Landscape Maintenance District Number 1. The ballot is marked yes. Annexation of DPR 18-000006 to Benefit Zone 117, Flood Control Maintenance District Number 1. The ballot is marked yes. Annexation of DPR 18-000006, Maintenance District Number 84-1. The ballot is marked yes.
Thank you. Okay, I'll call for a motion on the three resolutions, please.
Motion to approve.
A motion by Mayor Pro Tem Rogers
I'll second that.
and a second by Councilman Corona. Please call a roll call vote.
Mayor Pro Tem Rogers,
Yes.
Councilmember Magana,
Yes.
Councilmember Corona,
Yes.
Councilmember Rab,
Yes.
Mayor Vargas.
Yes.
5-0, motion approved.
Thank you. Item 9D is consideration to adopt the first reading of ordinance number next in order, an ordinance amending sections 1.04.010 and 1.16.005 of the Paris Municipal Code. This is going to be introduced by our city attorney, Mr. Eric Dunn.
Thank you, Mayor, members of the council. This is a minor cleanup item in that when the city pursues code enforcement actions and tries to do them either civilly, criminally, or administratively, the city would like to be able to try to recover attorney's fees from when we are successful in getting those actions abated. So my staff felt that we needed to adopt a definition of a responsible person so that we can make sure we can recover attorney's fees from both the violators and the property owners and the tenants, and just to kind of clean up some of the language. And so that's really all there is to it. That concludes my report unless you have any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Dunn. Council, anybody have any questions or comments for clarification? Seeing none, we will open up public hearing. Madam Clerk, do you have any requests to speak?
No, sir.
IT, anybody on the phone lines?
No, sir.
Thank you. We will close the public hearing, and I'll call for a motion on the first reading of the ordinance.
Make a motion to approve the first reading of the ordinance.
I have a motion by Councilman Rab,
I'll second.
second by Mayor Pro Tem. Call the roll call vote, please.
Mayor Pro Tem Rogers,
Yes.
Councilmember Magana,
Yes.
Councilmember Corona,
Yes.
Councilmember Rab,
Yes.
Mayor Vargas.
Yes.
5-0, motion approved.
Thank you. Okay, our last public hearing, number 9E, is consideration to adopt resolution numbers next in order of the City Council of the City of Paris and the Paris Joint Powers Authority, approving the financing and issuance of bonds associated with the improvement area number 1 of CFD number 2018-1, known as the Green Valley West Elm. And this will be introduced by our Director of Finance, Mr. Ernie Reyna.
Yes, thank you again, Mr. Mayor and members of the City Council. For this presentation, I have my consultant, Jim Fabian of Filman and Roloff. He'll make that presentation. We have a quick PowerPoint. I'm just going to go ahead and share my screen really quick, and he's going to run through those PowerPoint slides right now. So let me get this loaded up really quick. Okay, Jim, can you take it away?
Yes, thanks, Ernie. And good evening, Mayor, members of the City Council. Jim Fabian, Filman, Roloff and Associates. And as Ernie mentioned, we have a quick presentation to walk through this item. The item before you is approval of the resolution for the documents required for CFD 2018-1. We came, next slide, please. We came to you previously on June 12, 2018 and July 31st, 2018 for approval of the formation of this CFD. The development has occurred, and we're now at the point in time where bonds can be issued for the development. Next slide, please. In terms of the overview of CFD 2018-1, it is comprised of two improvement areas, number 1 and number 2. We're focused right now on improvement area number 1, which is approximately 24 net acres with 145 homes that will be built. We're at 66 homes right now that have been sold and closed to individual homeowners, and we have about 25 other homes that are underway in terms of build out. This project is located at Ethonac Road and Fieldstone Drive. Next slide, please. Again, as I mentioned, this is 145 unit development, Stone Creek at Green Valley Ranch. As of August the 14th, we had 61 homes that have been completed and conveyed. That number has grown to 66 since August the 14th. We had an appraisal done on the property using the assessed value information from Riverside County and the appraised value of the homes that are not on the roll. The value is roughly $33.2 million total. For the current fiscal year, 2020 to 2021, there have been 110 units that have been classified as developed, and special tax have been levied against those 110 units. Next slide, please. Just wanted to assure the council that we're within your policy of a 2% effective tax rate. We took 2 sample properties, calculated the total effective tax rate, and we're a little bit below that 2% threshold for these 2 different sample properties. Next slide, please. Tonight you have a resolution of the City Council authorizing the issuance of the bonded indebtedness and permitting the purchase of the bonds by the authority. There's also the authority resolution. You are wearing 2 hats tonight as the City Council and the authority, where you authorize the issuance of the authority bonds and to purchase local obligation bonds. And that's why we have a public hearing tonight. Again, the total issuance authorization is $3 million. We're going to be probably about 2.3 million in the actual size based upon the capacity of the special taxes, and this will be a negotiated sale. Next slide, please. Tonight in your packet, you have the following documents with the description of each of these documents. You have the fiscal agent agreement, the local obligation bond contract, the bond purchase agreement, the preliminary official statement, which is the document used by investors to decide whether or not to purchase the bonds from the city's underwriter, has all the information related to the development. The continuing disclosure agreement, which provides the requirements for the city to provide annual disclosure to the bond market. The appraisal report done by Integra to document the $33 million value of the property. Next slide, please. Again, these are non-rated bonds secured by the property. So the security for the bondholders is the lien against the property. There'll be a debt service reserve fund equal to 1 year's of debt service. We have approximately a 14-to-1 value to lien based upon our estimated size of approximately 2.4 million. As I mentioned, the par size parameter is 3 million. The interest rate is not to exceed 5%, and the underwriter's discount will not exceed 2%. The bonds will mature on September 1, 2050, so a 30-year term. This is a look at the sources and uses. The proceeds will be used to reimburse the developer and fund the reserve fund and cost. Next slide, please. And before you tonight for approval, we have the resolution of the city council. We have the resolution of the authority, and these resolutions approve the documents that I described on the prior slide. Next slide. Happy to answer any questions that you have related to the issuance of bonds for CFD 2018-1.
Thank you. Council, anybody have any questions for clarification? Very good. So I see none. I will open up the public hearing. Madam Clerk, do you have any requests to speak?
No, sir.
IT, any calls?
No, sir. Wait, sir, there is a Anthony Nicholas who raised his hand. Anthony, your mic is on.
There we go. I think I'm unmuted. Can everyone hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Perfect. I appreciate y'all taking the time to listen. I hope now is the right time to discuss it. But my name is Anthony Nichols. I run and operate a 501c3 youth basketball organization in the community and have been operating that program for the last 10 years. Normally, we utilize indoor facilities to practice. Unfortunately, as you know, due to COVID, everyone is kind of displaced and out of their normal environment.
Okay, Mr.
I've spoken with
Mr. Nichols.
Yes, sir.
We're talking about
Yes,
a
sir.
specific item right now about a bond. Are you talking about?
Okay.
You're on our general comment area, which will be later on in the meeting.
Okay, I can wait.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
thank you.
Apologize.
That's okay. IT, anybody else?
No, sir.
Okay, so we'll close the public hearing, and I'll call for a motion on the two resolutions.
A motion.
I'll second.
I have a motion by Councilwoman Magana, second by Mayor Pro Tem. Call the roll call vote, please.
Mayor Pro Tem Rogers,
Yes.
Councilmember Magana,
Yes.
Councilmember Corona,
Yes.
Councilmember Rabb,
Yes.
Mayor Vargas,
Yes,
5-0, motion approved.
very good. Okay, Mr. Nichols, if you're following and listening, we are going on to item number 11 and, I'm sorry, item number 10. And then item 11, followed by that would be an opportunity for you to speak. So if you can hang on, I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. I apologize again.
No, that's quite all right. Okay, item 10 is our business items. 10A is a presentation of the City of Paris 2019-2020 outgoing and the 2020-21 incoming Youth Advisory Committee, also known as YAC. This will be introduced by our Community Services Manager, Mr. Arsenio Ramirez.
Good evening, Mayor and members of the council. For this business item, I'm going to hand it over to our YAC liaisons.
There you go. There you go. Good afternoon, Honorable Mayor, City Council, and City staff. My name is Juan Rodriguez. I'm the lead liaison of the City of Paris Youth Advisory Committee. To my right, I have a Community Service Supervisor and YC Liaison, Rachel Pinedo. We are here on the behalf of the City of Paris Youth Advisory Committee. First, we would like to recognize our 2020 graduating class. Next slide, please. We have our ex-president, Ashley Lopez, who graduated high school and it will be attending the University of Redlands, majoring in pre-health. We have also Ariana Rayo, attending Grand Canyon University, majoring in sociology with emphasis in social work with a minor in communications. We have Aaliyah Upson, Alcorn State University, majoring in nursing. And we have Brianna Espinosa, also known as Bubbles, attending California State University, Fullerton, majoring in mathematics. And we also have Carlos Flores, University of Irvine, majoring in computer science. Next slide, please. Now, we would like to take a moment to introduce to you our 2021 Youth Advisory Committee. Our president this year will be Naomi Acosta. Our vice president will be Joanna Zaragoza. Our secretary this year will be Marilyn Carrillo. Our treasurer will be Juan Salas. historian Savannah Herrera, our second historian, Julie Salas. Next slide, please. Representative Noah Estrada, Representative Alexa Flores, Representative Brianna Marin, and members at large will be Haley Rios and Mireya Estrada. Although our president, Naomi Acosta, is not president, she did prepare a statement for you guys. At this moment, Rachel will read that statement.
Hello, Honorable Mayor and City Council members. Sadly, this year, the Youth Advisory Committee members are not able to present themselves to you. Although we are not able to interact, the YAC is fully aware that the City Council supports and cares about their safety. This year, things are going to be different for the YAC regarding on how we work and function. Nonetheless, we will strive to make it work. The motto of the YAC is to inspire and empower the youth of the community to become the leaders of tomorrow. My hope is that we will continue to impact the youth and the city of Paris during this challenging time. We will continue to exemplify what it means to lead and help. Thank you for your time, and I hope your families are well and healthy. Thank you.
Thank you, Rachel. At this moment, that will conclude staff's presentation.
Thank you. Council, anybody have any comments or questions?
I have a comment.
Councilman Redd?
Just like to welcome on the new YAC members. Look forward to working with you and assisting making Paris a better place. I'd like to congratulate the graduating YAC members. I know it's a difficult time graduating during this COVID epidemic and starting college during this time, but I wish you all the best of luck in your future endeavors.
Anybody else?
Yes.
Councilman Corona?
Yes, I do. I too also want to congratulate those that are graduating, going off to great things. Do not forget about Paris, especially the gentleman going to UC Irvine. Congratulations, fellow anteater. So I just come back to Paris, and we definitely need your leadership. It's always been a custom that we always have a ceremony for them to celebrate all their achievements, but unfortunately due to the circumstances. And I definitely want to welcome all those that are coming back for your leadership. It's very important for your leadership. I see a lot of familiar faces. Continue to do great things. I know that you guys are smart and you're going to do some wonderful things. Thank you.
Anybody else?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem?
Yes. I also want to congratulate all of those going on to college. I know this past year has been very difficult for you to serve on the Youth Advisory Committee because of COVID-19 and not being able to gather and do a lot of the activities that you look forward to. And I know that's been a big disappointment, but you persevered, you were steadfast, you did as many things as possible, staying socially distanced and wearing your mask, and show that you were true champions. So I know that you go on to college, you're going to excel in your different fields, and you're going to make the city of Paris very proud. We really, really have been blessed to have had your presence on the Youth Advisory Committee. So enjoy your journey and enjoy your new studies, and remember the city of Paris. To the new people that are coming on board, you have some big shoes to follow, but I know you're up for the task, and we look forward to seeing all the great things that you're going to do in the upcoming year to show us that this will be a great Youth Advisory Committee. Thank you so much, and God bless you all.
Anybody else?
Yes, Mayor. I would like to just go ahead and thank those who were part of this. It was a great pleasure meeting some of you and working with some of you. And I know we didn't have a lot of opportunities to do so thanks to COVID, but hopefully you enjoy your first year in college, and don't forget about Paris. I know a lot of students, once they graduate high school, they're ready to get out of here. But thanks to COVID, maybe some of you will be stuck at home, and I commend you for your work in becoming civically engaged, and hopefully you continue to do so. And for our oncoming members, I look forward to meeting and working with all of you, even if that's virtually. It's a great opportunity to develop your leadership skills It's a great resume builder, and this looks great on a college application. So thank you so much for your commitment. And I'm so glad to see some of you started as early as 8th grade. That's awesome. So I look forward to working with y'all, and thank you so much for being part of YAC.
Thank you. Well, ditto, as all my colleagues have already indicated, but I do wish our outgoing members nothing but the best of luck during the next 4 years, and that gives us more time here to develop and hopefully build some more good-paying jobs here in Paris so that you can come back and give back to your community. And welcome to our incoming YAC members. I too look forward to meeting you, hopefully in person down the road. Hopefully things will be turning around so we can have some better times there. Okay. Was there any comments from the public on this matter?
No, sir.
All right. Okay, item 10B is presentation of our Junior Master Gardener Program, introduced by our Director of Community Services, Sabrina Chavez.
Yes, good evening, Honorable Mayor, members of the council. We have our Public Health Supervisor, Crystal Lopez, who will be introducing this item. Crystal?
Okay.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, City Council, and City staff. I am pleased to introduce to you the 2020 Certified Junior Master Gardeners. Each summer, we have hosted the Junior Master Gardener program at the Paris Green City Farm. And this summer, due to COVID-19, our 8-week program was hosted virtually, where we had 25 youth participants ages 8 to 11 engage in activities that increase their horticultural skills and knowledge, ultimately allowing them to bring their new skills to their gardens at home, but also their school sites. Each year, we present our students at a council meeting, but this year we decided to capture them through a video. So please enjoy this video that the JMG team put together. Thank you. IT?
Join me as we congratulate our first virtual Junior Master Gardener certified cohort.
In the Junior Master Gardener program, I learned so many things. From planting seeds in the beginning to career awareness in the end. I took care of my plant and kept it watered and fed. I made sure it had sunlight so it wouldn't be dead. I kept these conditions so my plant was alive. And in return, it would give us food, water, and air to survive. I learned about bugs and how some were helpful and some were pests. I took the info about my family tree and landscape design so my backyard looked pretty. I enjoyed all the crafts and art projects, and I'm sad that it had to end.
Hello, my name is Danny Vasquez. First, I would like to say thank you to my teachers, Mr. Jose and Miss Marilyn, who taught us how to have respect for nature. In the Junior Master Gardener program, I learned how to take care of my own plants. I also learned what are good and bad insects that our plants need to survive. Thank you both for all the help.
And that concludes our presentation. Thank you.
Thank you. Council, anybody have any comments? Looks like none. Congratulations to all our junior gardeners and our graduating ones. It seems like they had a lot of fun, and I've got some area in my backyard that can use some gardening. Okay, any comments on this section from the public, Madam Clerk?
No, sir.
Thank you. Okay, item 11 is our public comment. Do you have any requests to speak? IT has a list.
Hi, Mayor. Nanette Placentia. Your mic is on.
Hello?
Yes, go
Can you
ahead, Ms.
hear me?
Placencia.
Okay, thank you. Hello, Mayor, City Council members. As you know, my name is Nanette Placencia, and I wanted to take the time to inform all of you as a coach and a coach administrator here for AYSO Soccer. I and my fellow board members are taking every precaution to assure that parents and children of our community are being safeguarded against the spread of COVID-19. We are taking every precaution necessary and recommended by both our governor and local healthcare officials. Every family who signs up will be required to follow all of the guidelines set forth by our organization. We will be having smaller team sizes. All practice drills will be done maintaining 6 feet distances. Team practices will be spread out Monday through Thursday with no overcrowding of the park during practice hours. We are providing hand sanitizer and wipes to all our coaches, as well as drill equipment to maintain the proper 6 feet distancing required to stay safe. All parents are required to provide their children with their own personal soccer ball. This will also help keep everyone safe. We will be taking temperatures before practices, and anyone with a temperature will not be cleared for practice. We at AYSO care deeply about all of our kids and our community and want to reassure everyone that we will be taking every necessary precaution to open up safely and to let our kids get back to playing the game that they love. In regards, I hope that City Council and the Mayor will approve our organization to reopen. Thank you for your time and your service.
Thank you, Ms. Placencia. Anybody else?
Yes, Mayor. Anthony Nicholas wishes to speak.
Go ahead, Anthony.
All right, thank you to the mayor and to the city council. As I said earlier, I apologize again. My name is Anthony Nichols, and I run and operate a 501c3 youth basketball organization. I'm also the basketball chair for AAU for Southern California, running all of the LA, Inland Empire, and Orange County areas. I currently have about 150 kids in our program, ranging in age from kindergarten through high school. Over the last 5 years, we've put over 45 kids into college, and have gone on to have 2 professionals play overseas. Currently, as you know, as the young lady that spoke before me said, we've been shut down due to COVID, and we've been very respectful of following all CDC guidelines and all Riverside County guidelines, pre-pandemic as well as current. Right now, the Riverside County is in the purple tier, and we have I'm in possession of an email from Deputy Counsel Kelly Moran that gives authorization for practices to resume and trainings to resume in an outside open air format. Unfortunately, the city of Paris does not have their basketball rims up. And in my opinion, it puts us in a challenging position because, as you know, people are going to still do what they want to do. And so our program, as well as many others, have been forced to go over into neighboring cities such as Riverside, Hemet, Menifee, where the rims are up, and resume their practices. My daughter actually plays on a team that traveled to Utah last weekend. Our kids will be playing a basketball tournament this weekend out in the city of Rancho Cucamonga. And so the kids are continuing to play. The challenge is as the young lady so stated, the city of Paris has closed down, and for rightful reasons. But Riverside County, as well as the CDC guidelines, have said that we should be able to reopen. And so I'd like to potentially motion to have youth sports be able to resume back in Paris. And maybe the young lady that spoke before me can second it so that we can put it on the ballot, put it to a vote. I don't really know how this works, but I'd like to implore everybody to do it. I mean, at the end of the day, when I spoke to the individual, we can follow all the guidelines and make sure that everybody's safe, go 6 feet, 6 feet of social distancing during practice, make sure that everybody is using hand sanitizer and has their temperatures checked and follows every single guideline that we have. But then there's also a subset of people where they're going over to neighboring cities and they're going to play and they're going to do those things. And so I'm asking, for it to be maybe put to a vote if possible, for youth sports to be able to reopen in outside capacity in the city of Paris and to get the rims back up. The skate park's open, and the reason I got that the skate park was open is because people kept hopping the gate. Well, that's not really a valid reason. If the skate park can be open and the other facilities can be open at the parks, then the basketball courts and the soccer fields and the baseball diamonds need to be open. I just left the park over in Riverside, over at Orange Terrace Park, where they had a legitimate baseball game going on with referees, fans, and everything. And again, this is less than 15 minutes away from the city of Paris, where people are going, and a large part of our community goes out and patrons in other areas of the of neighboring communities because our community doesn't have the full benefits available to them. So they're going to go out and do it. So I'm just asking if the city could take into consideration the ability for youth sports as a whole, or even just the basketball rims, get put back up. We would appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. Nichols. Thank you, sir. Anybody else?
Yes, Mayor, we have a Anthony Echeverry. Anthony, your mic is on.
It's actually Andy Echeverry. I was at the meeting last month or last couple of weeks, and I was asking for the same thing. So I'm just gonna echo what I said last time about the youth sports. I believe I submitted everything we're planning to do for AYSO soccer to come back. I just asked for you guys to take a look at it again. As the gentleman before me spoke, we have clubs and other things opening in other cities, and we have our community members, our kids from City of Paris having to go to either Moreno Valley, Lake Elson, or Menifee to play the sports just because we're not open. I think we have a plan where we can come back with the kids, just at least to practice and still keep them safe. So I'm just asking you guys to reconsider and allow us to come back. I think it's imperative for the kids to come back to some type of normalcy, at least in sports. That's basically it.
Thank you, sir. Anybody else?
No, Mayor, that's all.
Okay, it takes us to item 12, our council communication. Councilman Reb?
Yes, thank you, Mayor Vargas. I'd like to first start off by thanking all the speakers for sharing their inputs. We are considering all the inputs of everyone that has an opinion regarding all the issues. On September 14th, 2020, I had the opportunity to attend the Western Riverside County, the RCA board, and we learned that the city of Paris has remitted the various fees over the last few months toward the board. In June, we had 29 residential permits with 17 acres of commercial for $188,000, which was the most for any city within the region in terms of residential permits and commercial permits that were remitted to the RCA. On the 17th, I had the opportunity to donate blood at Livestream. I've been receiving notices that Livestream is in dire need of blood donations. If you are able to donate blood, and the requirements that you are at least 15 years or older, weigh 115 pounds, and have no major health issues, and then there's certain travel restrictions as well, you can donate. You can make an appointment to donate at 1-800-879-4484, 1-800-879-4484. And the website, you can also schedule an appointment on the website, lstream, as common spelling of stream.org. And they have locations at the Moreno Valley Mall, the Murrieta Donor Center, and various other locations within the Inland Empire, including Riverside and San Bernardino. So once again, if you have the opportunity, please really consider donating blood or plasma or platelets if you have the time. They're in dire need of donations within the county of Riverside. One thing I'd ask that we come back to consider is that pursuant to the law, we have the ability to re-examine the council stipend, and given changes in the CPI, I'd like to see us re-examine potentially increasing the stipend pursuant to the CPI or Consumer Price Index increases over the last years, and making the gas allowance concurrent with all the other allowances within the city. So if we can bring that forward for re-examination for all the council, city clerk, and mayor at the next meeting. With that, I'd ask that we close the meeting in honor of Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Ruth Bader Ginsburg served on the Supreme Court for 27 years. She was the second woman to serve on the Supreme Court. She was appointed by Bill Clinton in 1993. Regardless of your feelings on her stance on various issues, one thing is that she came with every judicial opinion with well-reasoned, articulate, and well-grounded reasoning in her opinion. So if we can close the meeting out for her service to the nation, 27 years on the court and over a dozen years on the appeals court. I'd ask that we close the meeting in her honor. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Corona?
Thank you, Mayor Vargas. I do want to thank all the speakers regarding the youth sports. The council is having these discussions almost on a weekly basis. Me, myself, being a product of Paris Youth Sports, I absolutely know the importance of athletics and sports for our kids, for their mentality, for their health as well too. One of the concerns obviously is the spread of COVID, and as the county is starting to open up is good news. However, the city of Paris still has almost 3 times the positivity rate of the county of Riverside. So there are a couple things to help bring that down. One way is obviously to help prevent the spread of COVID. Another way is to make sure you go get tested. So although our positivity rate is very high, a lot of people are only going because they have symptoms. While other cities, they have the privilege, many of the residents have the privilege of going there even though they do not have any symptoms. So it's very important that you go out there. So just encourage anybody and everybody to go out there, and then you're going to see that the positivity rate is going to go down, because it's going to be people who are also symptomatic and asymptomatic getting tested as well too. So my goal is obviously to get everything open. It's very important for youth sports to do it in a safe manner. So just keep that in mind. We are thinking about that on a weekly basis. This week, I actually attended the Homeless Task Force Subcommittee along with the Councilwoman Magana, also along with our very own law enforcement here, our code enforcement, and the Social Work Action Group Committee to come and discuss issues regarding our homeless population. In 2018, we created this task force in order to address the issues going on with the homeless. We also contracted with SWAG, which is a social work action group. And together, working with all those entities, we were able to go from 95 homeless in 2018 to 52 this recent count. And I believe that was the second highest decrease in the entire county after, I believe, Corona. So as the county, the rest of the county continue to see an increase, the city of Paris saw a decrease. Obviously, with 52 people, more or less, it's still a challenge, and it's still something we're going to continue to work on. But I'm convinced that with the help of all those groups coming together, and I do have to mention also the residents of our community also attended too. And so with the help of our residents here in Paris, I believe that we're going to continue to see decreases. But we have to keep continuing to work hard. Today, actually a few hours before this council meeting, I did go with Mayor Vargas, and we attended a community meeting in Monument Ranch area regarding some illegal activities surrounding their neighborhood. So namely the off-road vehicles riding right next to the houses. People are over there shooting. So I just want to continue to have communications with our law enforcement in order to go out there and enforce our laws. I'm not looking to cite anybody, but if that's what needs to happen, that's what needs to happen, because we need to make sure our communities are are livable, and the people are proud to live there. The people feel safe to live there, and just to increase their safety. I do want to thank our law enforcement for going out there. There was on Murrieta Road, a lot of neighbors here in the city of Paris have been complaining on Murrieta Road. They've been speeding. Obviously, Murrieta Road serves as a detour to go around for those that want to go on the other side of Nuevo Road. But it's important that you do follow all the laws. There are residential homes there. Being that Murrieta Road is a busy road, there's houses right on there. So it's just important that you follow all the laws. Once again, it's not an intention that we do want to cite anybody, but it's important that we follow the laws. I do want to bring attention to one item that we did pass that kind of gets lost a little bit in the consent calendar, as items tend to do, but it was item 8D and E, which were approved for the construction of the stairs and ramp connecting Nuevo Road with A Street, or A Street with Nuevo Road. So for decades, because I remember as a child, if you wanted to go from Nuevo Road to A Street, you had to climb down a steep hill. Before the railroad tracks had that, it was across the railroad tracks, which created a safety issue. And then when they put the railroad tracks, they fenced it up, so you had to just go around, and also down a very steep dirt road. I've seen people fall on there. People have complained about it for years. And finally, with the work of the county and the city collaboration, and I do want to give recognition to our former city manager, Habib Motlog, for really leading the effort, and also Mr. McKinnon for continuing those efforts. It's going to happen soon, and I'm very looking forward to that. I'm sure the parents and that go to the schools near that, they're not going to have to wait for their child to climb up the hill with their strollers. They could come take them right down to school with them. And lastly, very, very, very important. If you haven't done your census, you need to do it. It's very important for resources within our city. It's very important to get an accurate count. So if you haven't done it, there's still time to do that. So please do that. You can do it online. It takes minutes. So make sure you guys do that. That's all for me. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilwoman Magana?
Thank you, Mayor. As Councilmember Malcolm Corona mentioned, we participated in the Homelessness Task Force Committee meeting. So I want to go ahead and thank our sergeant and deputies from the POP team and the Social Workers Action Group, as well as our city staff, who are all actively involved and continually play a key role in addressing issues related to homelessness. I did find out if the contact information is still valid. Oftentimes with COVID, we have a lot of changes going on, but I was assured that they were up to date and current. So for more information on these efforts, please visit the Paris Cares website, and as well if you need any information and resources when it comes to homelessness issues. Also, I'd like for staff to look into directional signage for City Hall campuses. It's been brought up to my attention that residents aren't always too clear where their office is or the services that they're looking for are. So if that's something we could go ahead and look into, possibly upgrading our directory or making it more user-friendly. And then I also want to go ahead and thank all our public comment speakers who spoke on youth sports. We're constantly reviewing and meeting to discuss this among various other COVID-related issues. So just please stay tuned, and we'll hope that we'll get there. And I trust that all of you out there are staying safe during this pandemic. And I want to thank the residents who I see who are out and about wearing their mask and practicing social distancing. That's very important so that we continue to move forward into less restrictive guidelines and hopefully not regress. And then elections are coming up, so I just want to make sure that everyone is aware of that and has made their plan on how it is that they plan to vote this year. And then lastly, I want to wish you all a happy Hispanic Heritage Month, and then we also celebrated Small Business Week. So that concludes my comments. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Mayor Pro Tem Rogers?
Yes, I'd like to also thank all of the speakers that came out and spoke tonight on youth sports. For many, many years, I've been a big advocate for all of our youth sports and fundraised and helped raise donations for all of our leagues and teams and boxing leagues and football teams. And it hurts my heart that the kids can't be out there. But Paris has a positivity rate of 17.8, which is extremely high. And we have to be very prudent because of that. And we've got to get that positivity right. And so as Councilmember Corona said, implore everyone you know to get testing. That's the only way we're going to get that positivity rate down. We want to reopen. We want to do everything so the kids can get back. But we've got to be prudent and we've got to be safe because of that high positivity rate. So I just wanted to share that with you. I want to also thank everyone that reached out to me the last week or two. I'm recovering from knee replacement surgery. I've been contacted by so many people with prayers, well wishes, flowers, cakes, pastries. And I just wanted to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. It means a lot to me. And yes, next week is voting. The ballots go out by mail to every single household. You will receive your ballot by October 5th. Our early drop-off locations in the city of Paris are Camper Resorts on Ramon Expressway, in downtown Paris, the Paris Library, and City Hall. Early voting occurs from October 31st through November 3rd at 3 locations in the city of Paris. Those 3 locations are the City Gym, Campers Resort on Ramon Expressway, and the DPSS building on Redlands. So please remember to do your civic duty. This election is very crucial, and get your ballot in. You will receive it in the mail. You can go online and track your ballot and watch it from the time that it's mailed out to you to the time it's returned and processed. And those are my comments tonight. Everyone stay safe. COVID-19 is not a joke. I've known many people that have had it that have also passed away from it. So please be safe, and thank you.
Thank you. So a lot of my, I echo a lot of the issues that my colleagues already brought up. Just to reemphasize, for all our youth sports that are the requests and all the speakers coming out, I appreciate your comments. And as indicated, we do and look into it at least every 2 weeks at a council briefing, monitoring the numbers. And yes, our positivity rate is, I think, the 3rd highest in the county at 17.8. We need to really bring that down. I have 5 grandsons that live in the city, and they're eager to be out there playing as well. And we as the council, we have to look at the entire city when it comes to health issues and not just to a particular group or one aspect. We have to look at the whole city. So bear with us. We are keeping you on the radar for all our youth sports, and we do evaluate on a weekly to every 2 weeks, and hopefully we'll be able to open up soon. The census, as indicated, it's going to end this Wednesday. It's very extremely important that we all get up there and get our numbers down. The more higher the numbers, the more money, federal dollars we're going to get for our city. So it's extremely important. So I encourage everybody to please, if you haven't done so, please do. And it's very quickly and done easily on the internet. Traffic concerns, Councilman Corona brought that up. Those are throughout our entire city. Traffic is issues everywhere, but we're only, of course, concerned about Paris, and we're doing our best. The police are doing their best. We can't have them on every street 24/7, but continue to call in if you have issues, or at least email or text, however you can communicate with the mayor and the council, and just keep us informed of the areas that you are concerned, and we will call and request the services to be increased. We are well aware of donuts and people running stop signs and signal lights and what have you. And I do know that the police are doing their best to try to be at all different places, but it is tough to be everywhere at the same time. And looks like that's all I had for now. So we will move on to item number 13, our city manager's report.
Mr. Mayor and members of council, thank you. Typically, this is the time we announce the upcoming events. Unfortunately, because of COVID, essentially for the rest of this calendar year, our events are very limited. For the most part, they're all canceled. So just to reiterate what several of you members have already stated, I work with our public health staff and who correspond with the county health. We give the county, or we give the city council, all of you, a briefing every other week, if not every week, on the numbers. The good news is the county's getting a lot safer. They're under the positivity rate. However, that's not the case in Paris. As stated, we're close to 18%, which is extremely higher, more than double what's the allowed uses identified by the CDC. So that tells you that even though some cities like close by might be a lot safer, here in Paris, we don't have that ability to open yet. So I can tell the community that the council is very conscious of it, and you deliberate quite a bit. And we do evaluate on a constant basis when those numbers come down. So as it stands now, we have limited abilities for community resources. Our rec programs are suspended, and we're suspending TUPs at the parks. City Hall is closed to the public, although we are open for appointments. So we are constantly monitoring it, and I know the council is doing their very best to open when it's safe. And we will continue to evaluate on a weekly basis. But as stated previously, the best thing all of the community can do is practice social distancing and go get tested so we can bring that positivity rate down. So thank you, Mr. Mayor and members of the council. We do have one holiday coming up. Indigenous Peoples Day is coming up October 12th. So we will be closed to the general public as well as inside in order to celebrate the holiday. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Okay, item 14 is our adjournment. I appreciate and thank everyone for coming out, for all our listeners out there. And we will be adjourning in honor of our Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg for her 27 years of service on the Supreme Court. Good night, everyone. Stay safe and stay healthy.